Okay, so
52.
we're approaching the year anniversary. We're approaching it.
Should we do something for the anniversary stream? I have an idea.
Okay. I mean, I'd be down.
Well, we just like I just go through. We have categories, and then we make people vote for the like the. And then we have different clips for each category, and then we have people vote for their favorite moments in the podcast based on the category.
That'd be cute. It's pretty cool.
It's like what Trash tasted.
Huh.
On the 1 year anniversary podcast.
Okay, we could try that.
I'm done. I could work on that.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So how you guys doing this week? I know Crow finished exams. How's that?
Yeah, I finished exams. Now I'm free. I have so much freedom. Except yeah, cause like weekend started, and I usually spend the weekends at my dad's place, so I can't play right now. I'll play when I get back.
How about you, Sky? Any highlights this week?
Not particularly, no.
Particularly? Yeah, same for me. Except for playing Nova. I like all these Nova buffs. All these changes are really nice. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I still need to try them, man. I need to job change. I got the job change tickets, but I didn't job change before I left.
Oh.
Because yeah, I wanted to do one more, like, because I want to do a whole like Rosso raid with the best buffers as rage hearts and like people who know what they're doing. But I haven't been able to find the right people or make that party. So I'm like, next stream maybe I'll do one, and then before I switch to Nova.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to get used to overheating, bursting blade, and effort flying though. I feel like I'm not gonna get used to it. It's gonna feel so weird.
Yeah, it does take a while because you used to just pressing the button once and that's it, but now you have to mash
Yeah.
literally everything.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I think just in playing Nova, I just mash every skill anyway.
Yeah.
More or
Oh,
less.
true.
Yeah.
Dude. You're freaking innocent. You know that one skill in Innocent where like you can only tap it once. If you tap it twice and then you activate the skill, you have to let it like the thing where the spear follows you.
Spears.
Descent.
Shadow
So
Bolt?
when you press it once,
Spear descent.
I think
It's a strength noblesse skill, I believe.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
it was one of the new skills added with the reboot.
Oh, the one that charges
Yeah.
up? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
yeah.
skill, right? When I was playing Innocent, I swear I was only tapping the skill once, but every time I pressed it, it would automatically activate. And then I realized that I was actually double pressing the skill without realizing. It's because I'm so used to playing Nova that I would just like tap skills multiple times without thinking. So it's so hard for me to switch to pressing the skill one time. To use it, that it was just so hard for me to use that skill. It was a shit skill anyway, so I stopped using it.
Yeah, as I said, it's not the best skill, so it's all good.
Yeah. But I think the thing I'm most excited about switching back to Nova is PvP. Oh my god, I'm so excited to PvP on Nova. Especially 2v2 because I was watching this other Korean Nova YouTuber, and then he was abusing something, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta try this when I switch back to Nova. So, but I don't want to say it right now because I want to try it myself.
Okay. I was gonna ask what it was, but okay, that's fine.
What?
No, so I was gonna ask what it was, but yeah, you're gonna keep it a secret. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it secret. I'm gonna abuse it on stream and see if it works.
Okay.
Hopefully KG doesn't know it by then.
Is it? Can I take a guess and you can just say if I'm wrong or not?
Okay, yeah.
Is it the fact that Deadly Raid stacks the buff 3 times?
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Of course you.
I had a feeling.
I want to abuse it because Deadly Raid is so spammable and it's got such a long iframe and it's so cheap to use.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, so, but we're just gonna spam as much as possible and never get hit. Yes, that is the plan. You are right on the ball. Of course, Media would know. He knows everything about Nova.
I had a feeling, cause like, what is it? Cause they fixed it for Hellfire Gatling and Revolver, but they didn't do it for Deadly Raid. Yeah, I assume it's cause Deadly Raid is not amazing. Like it has its uses, but it's not that good.
I feel like it. I feel like it's also because doesn't Diddly Raid also have stages of overheat? Like there's an overheat stage 1, 2, and 3 or something like that.
I mean,
oh, okay, yeah, that's a good point.
no, I mean,
Yeah, because you can choose to overheat 1, 2, or 3, whereas with
yeah.
revolver cannon, it's either no overheat or you overheat twice.
Yeah. It's unintentional that revolver is overheating twice, where it's intentional that Deadly Raid is overheating 3 times.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bro, I missed that bug where revolver cannon overheated twice. That was so nice. Oh my gosh.
I mean, it still does.
was-
It doesn't really matter.
It
I
doesn't
guess.
do anything, yeah.
Okay.
Well, apart from giving you 2 overheat stacks at once, but
Yeah.
you build that up pretty anyway.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of overheat stacks, it's actually so nice that there's no reduction, or not reduction, but like internal cooldown on stacking the buff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've experienced that, Sky, but just being able to like just spam a couple skills and then you automatically have 5 stacks, like,
Yeah.
really cool. Like, because like you just do that and now you just have Fairy Cradle, like even like a stronger Fairy Cradle or something. I don't know what you would call it. I guess a stronger Gate of Darkness buff. Like maybe that's a good way to say it. Like,
Yeah.
cause like,
Oh yeah.
cause like when Nova
Because you
stacks
gain
5,
20 MP attack.
yeah, when Nova stacks 5 times, like he just has passive 20 MP a second forever. Like it's literally forever.
Yeah. Which
Like,
is...
It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah. If they nerf anything about Nova, it's probably gonna be that, like his own passive MP gain.
Please no. Let us enjoy this.
No, I'm just saying, like, if they nerf anything. Because, like, some people were saying that, like, oh, he has that 200 burst, that's too much. But he needs that, because that's what's given to the party.
If you heard your ideas. We gotta, like, never show gameplay on Nova Imperator so that they don't nerf him.
Well, I gotta say, he got this buff because he wasn't being played in Birth anyway.
Ah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they did say that they made these changes based off data.
I have a friend who said that he's seeing a lot of Novas now. Like there's a huge influx of Novas. He doesn't even see any recharts anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know
Raychar's...
if...
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I was like, because I haven't played the game, I can't confirm it for myself. But have you guys seen any significant changes in the Raven population?
I mean, I think Nova's just desirable to play right now just because you see a lot of those buffs. And, like,
Yeah.
this being able to have that infinite mana just feels really cool to have. So I'm not surprised a lot of people changed to Nova. You know, whether they stay Nova or they change back, I'm not sure.
Okay, fair. Maybe they could be just trying him out and just be like, I'm gonna go back to recharts or something.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Raychar's is still the best Raven in Birth. Hands down.
For DPS.
Yeah, for DPS. Like,
Okay, fair.
Nova's better supporting, like, I suppose. But, like, yeah, unfortunately, Birth has gotten to a point where it's like you have ignore defense or you don't.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that just determines whether you're doing damage or not.
Yeah, I do feel like that. Furious Blade got the ignore defense buffs as well, so...
Yeah, I've not talked to many Furious Blade players. The ones that I have talked to said that, like, the buff is good, but it's not, like, super game-changing. That makes him, like, one of the strongest physical DPSs. I think, like, what is it? Dangelion and Liberator and even, what is it? Bloody Queen still beat him. But he's still solid, I think.
Okay, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, okay. Yeah, I was thinking, would you say Furious Blade is better than Nova Imperator in Birth Rate when it comes to DPSing?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, he was like that before. I think he's still like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just thought about it.
I don't, aside from, in terms of DPSing, I don't think his DPS was changed much, aside from the fact that you could change your sockets a little bit because we have 25% crit, like, permanently now.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think anything else of the DPS changed.
For Nova, yeah, I feel like most of his buffs are just support buffs anyway. So.
Yeah, support and quality of life, and clearing, actually.
Yeah. Wait, what stats do you use on your Nova now?
I replaced one crit socket with the boss socket.
Oh, okay.
My crit is now This is not my damage set. Sorry, I'm like looking at my set and I'm just like, this is not my stats. Yeah, my critical is like 71. I think you can go 70 and be fine.
Oh,
Probably.
Yeah, 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 70.
Yeah, I think you can go 70 and be fine. But I don't know if I have another socket to get rid of. Because I think my only crit socket I have left is all my weapon, which counts as 2 sockets, so I think that'd be awkward. Yeah. Unless I would change that socket and then get back the crit socket from that one I changed. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know how like I made raid charts for like, wait, how long? For a bit,
Like at least a month or so.
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah. The funny thing is, I never changed my sockets so that they'd be better for raid charts. I still kept my Nova socket, so I've been playing raid charts with like lower than usual, crit chance and maximize.
Okay.
My heart is still with Nova. I'm still a Nova simp. Wait, what about Sky? Sky, have you tried Nova since the changes?
Only in dailies at the moment. I haven't actually gone to raids yet.
Okay, are you enjoying him?
I can do Josh without potting now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It was so nice, yeah.
Are you using giant pot, Sky, or something else?
I've always been using giant pot.
Oh really? Even when Crow was weird? Not you, Crow, but Ignition Crow.
Oh no, in Trosh, yeah. In Trosh specifically, yes. Everywhere else.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I always use was Aventus in Trosh before. Now I'm using Giants because Ignition Crow is actually hitting things and it's nice.
Yeah, I never actually used anything. Yeah, I never used anything back then. It was only until I switched to raid charts that I started using Twister apples for Trosh and Nest.
Oh yeah, they're super handy.
Yeah, it makes me increases jump speed and makes me big. So,
Twister apples. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Use that with the something else. Oh yeah. Wait. Oh yeah. Ventus with the giant. Wait, is it called Twister apples? The blue one, the blue looking one.
Green.
No, that's giant.
Oh, turquoise looking one. Giant? I think it's giant. Yeah, I think it's giant. Giant apple or something. The potion. So lots of speed, maximum speed, big hitbox as well.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's fair. I saw a Sage do a 1 minute 52 second solo run of Trosh's Nest with no party buffs, and I'm like, dang, the clear is so nutty now.
With what? With what character?
With Nova Imperator.
Oh yeah. It's so nice because like I don't know if this is intentional or not, and Sky, I don't know if you noticed this, but Ifrit Flame actually has splash now. Like, I don't know if that was intentional or not. I think that just kind of happened when they let it pierce.
Just say it's intentional.
Yeah.
Like it's interesting because like usually they would like the enemy would just eat the hit, right? So it would just be like the hit would happen. But now since they pierce, I feel like they unintentionally do splash damage, which is nice. It's actually kind of nice. The damage is good actually.
Yeah, splash woohoo.
I have no complaints. Which actually I was wondering, like, would if Flame be used as DPS skill now?
Yeah, no, I mean I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about changing it to heavy instead of killing blow.
Yeah, because
personally I don't think so. Because one it's slow for its damage. So I think like for example if you consider how long it takes for you to cast Giga and how much damage that does versus how long it takes for you to cast Ifrit.
Oh, I meant for clearing, not for like bossing.
Oh, I thought you meant as a DPS skill. Okay.
No, I just meant for like better clearing.
Yeah, I was talking about like if as a DPS skill, like would that be viable?
Oh no, definitely not.
No,
okay.
I didn't think so.
It's definitely too weak for that, for sure.
Okay.
Just because Nova's 300 MPs are absolutely cracked out. Like, I think Ifrit might be as strong as like Hellfire Gatling or something.
Like you could.
I think it is. Yeah, actually, yeah. But and that's assuming all hits, so your target.
Yeah, it's assuming all hits. Yeah.
Okay. What about in Trosh's nest? Like, you reckon your Ifrit could one-hit kill Trosh when they're stacked together?
With EXP set, it does a good chunk. Actually,
If they stack things if they're stacked together, yeah. Actually, how big is the splash range? I don't think it's very big, is it?
I don't know. Like, I mean, it's weird just because Ifrit's kind of a weird skill, but I think it's just that every crow individually in Ifrit Flame can just do a splash hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I haven't tried it yet.
I'd say, speaking of Trosh too, what is it? Being able to Giga, like, Giga not being influenced by platforms actually helps a lot in Trosh, because I can just, like, once they're frozen, I can just walk up a little bit and do Giga, and it kills them, because Giga's just so strong.
Okay, yeah. Alright, yeah, Giga doesn't go on the ground anymore, like, it actually follows.
It's really cool.
Oh, I need to try it. There's actually one other thing I want to try in with that Giga. I saw someone in the Sea of Ruin as they like Giga off the the bit where they fall and then there's monsters at the side.
Oh yeah, you slide off the platform and you Giga and then
it just follows. Yeah.
I want to try that.
It's such a specific application.
Yeah.
But it's just...
Hey, you never know. Maybe the next area will have a similar thing too.
Yeah.
It's just fun. I just want to do it for fun. Just muck around in Nova. Yeah, it's gonna be so weird. I'm gonna have to relearn how to play Nova after all these months. It's gonna be so done.
It'll be fine.
But I am keen. I am very keen and excited.
As I say, yeah, I think the craziest thing is just like you really don't need pots anymore. It's actually kind of crazy how much you don't need potions. Like
I remember running Burst with CC and CL. I mean, granted, CL's pretty busted.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just going in there. I'm not using potions for MP 80% of the time. I just, which is super nice because it gives me room to pot using pot for HP. But
right.
And that was before the buffs as well. So now I'm like
even better.
So
yeah, like what is it? I remember I was grinding with Sky and Ice, right? Like in my entire bar of potions, the only thing I was using was Gated Darkness potion. That's it. And even then, that was occasionally. Like, I think I used 3 Gated Darkness potions in a whole ice rate.
Bruh. What the heck?
Also important to note that the MP gain thing doesn't have a range. As long as you're in the same room, it works. Because I think Meteor was top, I was bottom at the time.
Yeah.
No, the Meteor was mid. The Meteor was mid, the random was top.
Yeah, there is no range limitation.
I'm getting the 2. Yeah, and then I'm also here getting ticks.
Yep.
Which is nice.
Say you're like, there's 2 Novas in your party. Wait, does this stack? Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Because it's not a buff. It's just a burst of MP that happens.
Yeah, like it just rocks you.
Yeah.
Okay, so if they tick at the same time, would you get 400?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty much like you get a random potion essentially.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yep. It's really, really nice.
Wait. How would it work in PvP?
It only heals 20 to your team.
Okay. You know, it's still good, better than nothing. Just spam that.
It only heals 20, and I think it's only 5 passive MP a second.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm like. But I actually feel like that's still pretty abusable.
Let me check right now. Yeah, let me check. Hold on.
Yeah.
Like 5 seems like too much. Yeah, 5 seems like too much now I'm thinking about it. Master of Warfare. No, it's 5, yeah. 5 MP per second.
Holy shit, wait, that's kind of nutty. Oh my god. Wait, Deadly Raid's gonna be so easy to just stack that up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay. You know what? No complaints. Please don't nerf KG.
And it's probably what
they will.
Yeah, they probably will. For PvP at least, yeah. For for PvE, I think the only thing they could touch is that passive MP, which, fine. Granted, whatever. Like, they cannot touch that burst. That 200 burst they cannot touch, which I feel good about.
Yeah.
No, don't touch it. You can keep us free.
Man. Even that, I like being positive about these things, but I would say even with Nova's buffs that he has, he's still not like the best support yet. I think he still has quite a ways to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think personally, I think it's okay that he's there because his damage is already pretty.
Yeah,
okay.
it's pretty solid. Like, I think some simple steps they could do just right now, I got two, is make it so his cooldown passive works for the team, and then give some type of buff to Floor Crow. I think that will put him in a really good spot to be like actual, like taken
Actual
support.
support, yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, he's in the slot that like, I'm trying to compare to something else. Like he's in like, if buffers had a tier, you have your primary buffers of like CC and a healer. That's like number one, right? Then you got your secondary supports. Like I'm talking like OZ and like I don't know, something else I can't think of right now. He's like in this third level where it's like they got something that they can apply, but it's like they're not crucial at all. But what they supply is still cool and nice.
Yeah. So like he among like Rage Hearts, like
not really
in my
Rage Hearts. I think he's a step above Rage Hearts, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't look at the classes more. I'm trying to think of a buffer that's just like kind of hit slot. Maybe if you took like
Burrito.
Pio's actually really nutty, actually.
Yeah.
Especially now. Oh, here you go, like Empire Sword, you know? Like if you took Empire Sword as like a support, he's like in that range, I think.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Like Empire Sword or Aspara too, you know? Like Aspara has all that like debuffs and all those crit increases. Yeah. I think he's in that same slot.
Values are not as values are not as high, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I thought Upsara would be that like tier 2 support kind of thing. Well, that's how I'd rank Upsara.
Yeah, I mean she's not crucial, that's the thing.
Okay, fair.
It's just a good damage buffer.
Yeah. FP too is kind of in that third place kind of slot where it's still really good, but it's not like a super priority to get them.
Oh.
I guess 2. I don't know. My explanation's weird. Like I feel like 2 and 3 are super close to each other.
Oh yeah, I was categorizing it as if you wanted to bring these characters on a solo DPS run, like I would consider them a tier 2.
Yeah. Yeah, like
I'm not sure that that's a good metric because because what you want to bring in a class really depends on what class you are as well. For example, if you were a tourney winner, attack speed is so important. You would just want
that OZ.
Then you'd prioritize attack speed a lot more than other classes would like.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's just like because if you compare the Fatal Phantom to a Nova Imperator, which would you rather bring into a solo DPS roster? I'm specifically thinking in the case of Rosso Raid.
I think it depends on like what else you have, because I think the key thing with Nova is that you need a good cooldown reducer. Because if you don't have a cooldown reducer, you're getting you're getting excess mana. You're getting mana that goes nowhere. So you would need like I don't know, like a Radiant Soul, like a Celestia, like a what else reduces cooldowns? Doombringer, something like that. Like, yeah, you need some method to reduce your cooldowns, because you're just getting this mana for no reason, essentially. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. I really want to do a solo DPS run before I switch back from Rage Hearts, because and I was never able to do it ever like when I switch, and I really wanted to see how much damage I could do on him. Yeah. Just because.
You could try it today. Well, no, you're not online today.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Monday or something.
Yeah, maybe.
and then, or maybe I'll do it on Wednesday, and then I'll job change during that stream.
There you go. That's a way.
I'm time to go back to my Nova.
Are you gonna stay or are you gonna switch back?
Nah, I'm staying Nova.
Okay. I'm curious about that.
Yeah. So I was like, I wanted to do a thing where like I like alternate between Rage Pass and Nova after each like free job change they give.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Coincidentally, this like I did not play Rage Pass for that as long as I was expecting before I get to change back now. So I'm kind of keen because like even though I really enjoy playing Rage Heist, I still kind of like I feel more comfortable in Nova Infrared, so I'm kind of keen to change back. And I feel like I've had enough fun of Rage Heists. I'm like ready to change back now. Anyway.
Oh.
So, yeah, Nova's still like my main. He's still the one I like the most, I guess. Yes. He is hot boy.
Yes.
Speaking of, I actually wanted to talk about Genshin Impact. I don't know.
I was about to
How
say.
have you had...
Go ahead.
What?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, because I feel like we haven't talked about that in so long because of all the ELS podcasts and stuff. But I was thinking, how have you guys been playing Genshin much, like recently?
I have been motivated to because there was one time where, so you know how BP lasts like quite a while.
Yeah.
One BP period is quite a while, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so I pay. So at the beginning of the BP period, I pay as usual. I load up on for BP as usual. Anyway, so halfway through that BP, I hit a slump. I lose motivation to play Genshin. I stopped doing dailies for like 2 weeks, and then that is when I realized I had paid for BP, and I didn't even have enough points to hit level 30.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh no,
Oh,
just wasted $15.
Right.
So I guess I'm now motivated, and I've also been getting into Chinese voice actors recently as well. So now I want to save primos in case specific Chinese voice actors turn up.
Oh, okay, okay, dude. Yeah, I think just recently, because of exams, I was like very hesitant on playing video games, right?
That's fair.
So I've just been on YouTube, and I just went down a whole rabbit hole of all Genshin stuff. It's just like, oh my god, they're like the Chinese voice, like just like you know how the voice actors stream and stuff? Just watching so many of those voice actor clips and whatnot. It's just like, oh gosh. And also because okay, I was gonna say the one thing I love about Genshin and its community is that it's such a big community, right? And there's like a never-ending supply of like content for me to just like fan-made content for me to just enjoy and appreciate.
That's true.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, wow, like compared to Elsa, because Elsa's community is relatively small, right? Like, especially nationally wise. Like, if anything, like maybe the Korean content, there's a lot of that in the Korean, but obviously I can't read that. So it's just like compared Elsa to Genshin community. Oh my god, it's so different, and it's like it's such a big community compared to Elsa. And I'm just enjoying all these content I can just go through and enjoy.
I say, speaking of Genshin, so how much of the event have you guys done? The current event that's about to end, the summer vacation thing.
Oh no! Yeah, I told myself like after the podcast today, I'm gonna sit here and just play on my phone and just
Rush it, yeah.
Yeah, and
It's great. It's rush it, yeah.
Oh, you haven't done it yet either, Sky.
You
haven't done it either yet.
I have.
Okay, you have.
I finished it.
Okay.
How long did it take you in the end to finish the whole thing? Did you do it in one sitting?
I spread the parts over multiple nights because I knew that I wasn't. Or at least it was more like I didn't have motivation to sit down and do the whole thing in one go, but then I like forced myself to do it in parts.
Yeah. So I was like doing it 2 nights ago, and I was like the first part, and I was like, okay, this is taking a lot longer than I expected. I feel like it might be better for Sky to do this over multiple nights.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. It didn't take too long. I actually did it like a couple of days ago on my Asia account. Like part 1 is probably the longest just because it's all the cutscenes and stuff like that. But if you just go past once you go past all the cutscenes, doing the actual stuff that gives you Primo, it doesn't take that long. Like a couple hours, I feel.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know, someone in my chat came into while I was doing it. He said that it took them 5 hours to finish everything, but they were mucking around and stuff. Yeah,
5 hours if you're like finding treasure chests and still like the bonus stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I want to get all the treasure chests because like Because the golden archipelago, I don't know how to pronounce
Golden
it.
Archipelago?
apple.
The golden apple, yes.
Golden apple.
Yeah, it's after this event is over, they're gonna remove that area. So I'm just like, I'm trying to get all the chests that I can find before they.
Oh,
delete it.
I don't think the island goes away until we get the new update.
Yeah.
So you have
Yeah.
more time for that, the treasure chest and
Yeah.
stuff.
I guess, but like if I don't take them the first time I see them, I'm never gonna come back and get them again. So
That's
I'm
fair.
like, I might as well do it. Yeah.
That's fair.
But yeah, for me, my progress with the event, I've just done the first one, the one that's about to end in like 2 days or something. I've only done the first part of that. I haven't
Where you
even done
shoot
the
down
other
the
one.
enemy, whatever.
No, I've only done the destroy the heliotrope bases one.
Yeah. When you shoot down the heliotrope places.
Oh wait, with the boat.
Yeah.
I just shoot. Yeah, I've only done that.
Yeah, that's the. I feel like that one takes the longest.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
'Cause
That's good then.
You have to travel. You have to travel out to the base. Well, I guess
Yeah.
that's the same with the
It's the same with some of the other
second part,
ones.
But at least with the second part. At least with the second part, I feel like they're generally closer to the base. They're generally closer to the island. But you
Yeah.
can travel less.
The other ones are just like a couple races, a couple ring races, boss, like a mini boss, and then some enemy hordes. That's it.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, because I was worried. Like, I did the first part. It was getting tedious and taking a long time, and I was like, bruh. I was like worried that the rest of them were gonna be the same, and I was worried about not being able to complete it in time. But
Yeah, in my opinion, that's the longest one.
okay, that's good then.
I say, speaking of it, I don't know if you guys have been like actually like watching the cutscenes or just mashing through them. I actually really like all the cutscenes for this event.
I've been watching them. Yeah.
I like.
I spoiled all of the cutscenes for myself, but I do.
But you've
I
seen
do
them,
like-
right?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah. Like, what is it? Like the interactions with like Jean and Barbara. I liked all those. The like Kaya and Diluc feud continues on. Like watching Albedo just not care about anybody and have his own objective is like really funny. Like, and then like everybody's just kind of watching Klee and she's just going on this adventure and like she's just being like cute. Like I don't know. Like all of it's just nice and I'm just like wow. Every single character here, I care about them, and it's not annoying, and it like, I think they finally found the golden way to make like cutscenes fun to watch, and it's just including the pullable characters. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's so wholesome. I love the cutscenes so much. I spoiled it for myself on YouTube, and I saw the Diluc and Kaya cutscene is my favorite, just because.
Oh yeah, those are really good.
Typical brothers, and like. I don't know. They're like character chemistry is so funny. I love it. But I think there was one bit where like Diluc just like said some like side remark, and then freaking Kaya just like brings up the whole dad situation, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? That was like it's so out of the blue. It just randomly insults Diluc for no reason.
I think my favorite interaction is when it's a little meta one too, because Kaya talks about how he was making an ice bridge. But as he was making it, as Diluc was stepping on it, he was just removing it, like getting rid of the ice. It's kind of
that was my favorite.
hilarious.
That's my favorite as well. And then freaking Kaya, like I think this is the one time where I think the Chinese dub did that scene the best, where like Kaya was like, I think it was like pretend annoyed. He was like kind of being like those He was just whinging about it, and it was kind of funny, and I really like it.
He was just really done with it.
Yeah, he was whinging, just being a bit of a tease about it, which was kind of funny. I'm like, oh god, this guy's kind of cute.
Yeah, and like, well, speaking of the story and the cutscenes too, like, so meeting, like, I think they did a really good job of like introducing Klee's mom into like the lore essentially, cause like. Yeah, like I think that's like one of the best characters. Like I genuinely like this character, and I have no idea what she looks like. Like part of me is just like, man, I kind of want to pull for this character because I like her. Like, I don't know.
We already knew who she was based on. Like we already knew that she was a powerful.
Yeah, like a powerful mage because of Mona's story quest.
Yeah, but now it's like we know that she has this like somewhat playful personality.
Yeah, exactly.
Despite being so powerful.
And then, yeah, and then the biggest thing for me is just like, because I think at first, like, I just, you know, I feel like you just kind of have like these implications of like, characters in stories like, oh, this character left their kid here, like they left it under supervision, like good supervision, but they left, and it's like maybe at first I was just like, oh man, maybe they're just not a good parent, but it's like no, they're a really good parent. It's just that they just have to travel a lot.
They're a good parent, but like Alice low key. Oh my god, she's like her way of thinking can be a bit intense on the intense side. Have you seen the bit where I think Lisa talks about her and she's like, one time she wanted to make like a heliotrope meat grinding farm or something, like a generator that just kills heliotrope. And it's just it's like in Minecraft where you make a slaughterhouse with chickens.
Okay.
Yeah, except Alice wants to do that with heliotropes. And
Wow.
then yeah, cause like it was in one of the voice lines where Lisa's opinion on Alice, and then she talked about how Alice brought that up, and then Lisa just pretended to not hear her, and then she just changed the conversation because she's like,
Wow.
that's pretty fucked up.
Man.
Alice.
Again, I like that though, because I like that just kind of side of her, like a powerful mage, but she's kind of like just
She's a child at heart.
yeah, she's like a kid at heart, exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like, Lee is a elf race, right, in Genshin. She's like,
I think so. She has the ears.
yeah, I think it was mentioned somewhere that she's an elf or something. Which I find surprising because I don't know why. It just feels, I don't know why. The idea of elves being in Genshin feels out of place.
Somebody, I don't know if it was Alice or somebody else mentioned something about, her or Klee living for a long time. I remember hearing that line.
Yeah.
And someone in chat was
Yeah.
just like, oh, it's because she's an elf. And I was like, oh, really? I did not put that together.
Yeah, because like, well, I don't know if I assumed or if I read somewhere that she's an elf, because obviously like they got the long pointy ears and stuff. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
but I never like put two and two together that means elf.
yeah, true. Because I don't even know if the elf race exists in Genshin. I think it does. I think it was mentioned somewhere, but I just forgot.
I mean, I think it'll be more natural when we get to whatever place they are naturally, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because Genshin really only has two major areas at the moment.
True. And and both areas consist of humans. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both areas consist of humans, and like Leah especially has the Adepti, which were like, if you just went to Mondstadt and then you saw an Adepti up here in Mondstadt, it'd be like, so we have human-animal hybrid people? Like, that's kind of weird.
Oh yeah.
But since the Adepti are in Leah, it's like, it's kind of normal.
Yeah, true. Like it didn't even feel out of. Wow, what the heck, man? Like Miho really just merges like ideas into the story without me realizing. Huh.
Yeah.
Got that. Yu says, I'm assuming they'd be tied to the Dendro Archon. Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, also, you know how one time you said that you don't think Dendro would ever become a playable element? Medium?
Yeah, I think so. That's just my assumption.
I feel like they would.
It feels okay. My only thing with Dendro is that it feels so separate from everything else that if they included it, I feel like it'd just be kind of weird. Just because like the only interaction Dendro has is that it catches on fire.
Easily out of no interactions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Of course, I mean, I'm not saying that they couldn't create something. Like with enough creativity, you can do anything. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
like I don't know. It just feels so like not any other element at the moment that I can't. I guess what I'm saying is like with how Genshin is now, I can't see it being implemented. Like if they implement it, they would have to like change quite a bit, or it'd just be very unique on its own.
It'd probably have to be like an overhaul update. I don't know, or it was like a. Because obviously Dendro characters do exist, but I feel like it'd be weird if they never included Dendro as an element you could play as in Genshin.
Yeah, I agree. It would be weird.
I wonder how they did it in Honkai actually, because in Honkai there's obviously the three main elements, which are psychic, mechanic, and bio. Yeah, it was psychic, mechanic, and bio or something. But then there's also a separate category of two types where they interact with each other. I think it was called like it was called Quantum and something else. I forgot.
Well,
I was
that's a classic mobile game thing where you have 3 elements that have the Pokemon thing like fire, water, grass, and then you have the light and darkness opposing each other.
Yeah. I think maybe Genshin would get that with Dendro or something. I don't know.
Maybe Genshin is different in that space because like elements don't have a strength and weakness; they have interactions with each other, which I guess opens the door more for Dendro to be able to put in, because like Geo isn't strong against anything; it just interacts with things as like a shield, except for I forget the wind element is called, Enamo.
Oh.
Like it just straight up doesn't react with Enamo at all; it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then Enamo's the same way, where it amplifies the damage of all the other elements, but it doesn't interact with Geo. And then Hydro has its different reactions and all that stuff. Like enemies in Genshin don't have weaknesses. It's just like it's kind of like everything is raw damage, I guess.
Other than shields, it's like
yeah. Like that's the only thing, right? Yeah, you're right. Is that the only thing that has weaknesses are like shields and like enemies, I guess, who are 100% of an element.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of.
I can see it. If they ever introduce Dendro, it'd probably have like an effect with Geo. I reckon.
Maybe.
Geo and Dendro could have like
like,
some sort of.
The things that I'm thinking of right now is that okay, it gets set on fire with pyro. Like water could heal it, maybe. You know what I mean? Like could be the opposite of pyro. Like I don't know what it would do with electro, and I don't know what it would do with ice.
Yeah, I feel like Dendro would be that element type that where Dendro and Geo would react with each other, but no other element. I think that's what.
Well, except for pyro, because it already reacts with pyro.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, what about? Nah, maybe they'll just make it so that pyro doesn't react.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it already does, so it's kind of weird to just. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's so awkward, because it's just like, it's just such a. Because there's like what 2 enemies in the game that use it, like 2 or 3.
There's Baidu and there's...
No, I meant enemies, like things you fight.
Oh wait, yeah.
There's like the Dendro Slimes and the Dendro Helitrol Mages.
Yeah.
You just kind of set them on fire and that's it.
Wait, did Miho tease Yao Yao or something? Was it Yao Yao?
Who's that?
Wait, did they?
Except I'm not sure whether they leaked it or whether it
Oh,
was
you mean
actually like they just officially released it.
Yeah, Yao Mia or whatever her name? The Fireworks Girl.
No,
Oh,
different character. No, this is a new character.
Okay.
Oh no, I think it was a different character they leaked. It was the small one. What's the other lolly girl that they leaked? That
Oh, the
Mihoyo.
ninja girl?
Yeah.
I don't know her name. I don't know if they announced that one.
Sayu or something?
That one got leaked. I don't know. Let me check Honey Impact.
Honey Impact. Alright. Yeah, Sayu. I was talking about Sayu. Okay, so it wasn't Yao Yao that they leaked. Okay, so in regards to Sayu, I thought she'd be Dendro, but she's actually a Nemo.
She's a Nemo, yeah.
Yeah. God damn.
She looks like Dendro. I agree with that.
What about that other Yao girl, Yao Yao or something?
Yoimiya, the fireworks girl?
No, Yao Yao is like it's a different character that was leaked.
Oh, I don't know.
A few months ago, yeah.
Yeah.
I must have missed that one.
Oh yeah. So, there's another lolly girl called Yao Yao. She runs the Boo Boo Pharmacy. I think was it her? Wait.
The one that runs Boo Boo Pharmacy is Bizo. I thought, or
Baidu.
However you say his name.
I think. No, there's Yao Yao. I don't know, cause her name literally just means medicine in Chinese. So I'm just like, I thought she'd work in Boo Boo Pharmacy or something.
Her name is just medicine.
Medicine.
According to Genshin Wiki, Yao Yao is an NPC in Genshin. She is speculated to be released as a playable character in the future. She was Zhanling's junior disciple under the same master chef, but has become an assistant to Ganyu.
Ah! Wait, she's an NPC in the game? What?
That is suspected to be a playable character.
sense because her design makes her look like a playable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, makes sense. Okay. All right, fair enough. All right.
Yeah, I've never even heard of this character.
Dude, what the heck, man, bro? Mihayo needs to give us a new Electro character and a new Dendro character.
Well, speaking of that, the ninja girl, what is it, Sayu? That okay. Well, close your ears for 2 seconds if you don't like spoilers. 3, 2, 1. I like that she's a 4-star Anemo character because we freaking need another one that isn't Sucrose.
Bro, yeah, we don't have that much Anemo.
Yeah, so she'll fill a good slot of another 4-star Anemo. Aside from Sucrose and main character, obviously, but main character can be everything.
Yeah. Okay, so I never noticed this until someone made a meme about it. But aside from Child, right? So the new female 5-stars have all been Cryo or Pyro, and all the new like male 5-stars have all either been Geo or Anemo. It never occurred to me, and I went back and I looked at it and I'm like, holy shit, it's true.
You said 5 stars? Or except nothing but... What?
So, for all the new female 5-stars that were released, they've all been Pyro or Cryo. All the new male 5-stars that were released, they've all either been Geo or Anemo. Except for Child.
Except for Child, yeah. Because Child is Hydro. Yeah. You said the females were what? Cryo and Pyro?
The females are all Cryo,
yeah, that's true.
and Pyro.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think Child is the only Hydro unit that we got, right? That's
yeah. Child's the only, well, in general, actually, Child's the only Hydro unit in general.
Yeah. Which is like, I thought Mihayo would be like very focused on balancing out all the elements and stuff. I guess like they don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like, there's not many Electro characters in the game in general.
Yeah, they haven't released a new Electro character since the game started, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's partly because Baal, Raiden, she's going, no Electro for you! I'ma stop right there. No more. I always thought that Baal Raiden would be like, she used to be a merciful god, but I got it mixed up. It was the Saritsa that was the merciful one that became ruthless.
Yeah, then she became ruthless, yeah.
Yeah. Baal was the one that she was always ruthless all the time.
Well, yeah, it's more like paranoia.
Yeah. Kind of like overly like
she's
cautious.
The god of eternity, yeah.
Yeah. True. She's always been mean. Speaking of, I was like, real quick. Thoughts on the leaked Baal model? Like, what do you guys think of that?
Oh, I love it. I just think she looks absolutely fantastic.
She looks... Okay, to me, she looks way too much like Yinger, the NPC, the perfume lady.
I just think she looks good. I don't really care.
Yeah, a lot of people... I've seen a lot of people complain about Baal's leaked design. Hopefully,
I think the problem is people want Mei Raiden. That's the problem. Like, Mei Raiden looks great, but Mei Raiden isn't Raiden Shogun. They're two different people.
Okay. Wait, let me see if I can find that image where like a fan made a different kind of version of Raiden. I'll see what you think of it. But let me but yeah. So while I look for that, but I kind of agree because a lot of people I feel like she seems to be underwhelming even compared to the rest of the cast.
I don't think so. I think she looks fantastic.
I think that was the complaint that my cousin had looking at it. Was that her outfit looks a bit too plain, I guess, like especially if you compare it to what Dolin Fancy has.
Yeah, what do you think of it, Scar?
I don't have any strong opinions because I don't plan on going for her, but I think I think she's underwhelming as well. But at the same time, I also think that it might be because we're seeing her with that. This might be like a outfit that is more like casual dress, and then we might see her wearing something more flashy and prettier when she's getting serious or something.
Maybe,
especially in Japanese culture, like traditional dress and all that, and wearing special things for special occasions is like pretty big thing. And I think it said in the description as well that I think leaks said that she was a polearm user, even because people were expecting her to.
So okay. So apparently that's a thing that just kind of happens when characters are data leaked. Is that sometimes they'll just be shown with an icon of the wrong weapon.
Oh,
because apparently that happened with another character early on. Forget who.
Yeah, I hope she's not a polearm user because we already have an Archon who uses the polearm.
I don't think she'll.
I don't think she'll be either because in the cutscene we saw for that teaser, she was using a sword.
Yeah, if she uses polearm, it's Miho throwing a huge curveball at us. I think.
That's weird.
But yeah, because I actually don't really like her design. I like its so sorry, Ella, for leaking things, but like because I don't like it so much, I think I might actually pass on her. I'm probably gonna skip her. I don't think I'm gonna get her anymore because I don't like her design that much.
Yeah, no, I love the design so much. Like, I love the braid. I love just the outfit. I love the face. Like the way her hair looks. Everything about it. I love it a lot. Okay. And I actually prefer the fact that she doesn't look like May Raiden because I think again May Raiden looks great, but May Raiden is May Raiden and Raiden Shogun is Raiden Shogun.
Okay, what
I think wait for official release/announcement before making.
Definitely, like we can only make speculations for now.
Yeah, and that too. These are all leaked images.
What about, like, general? Okay, so if you look at the pictures in general, which one would you prefer? Like, which Raiden would you prefer? The left one or the right one?
For Raiden, the left one.
Left one.
The right one is May. The right one is Raiden May.
I don't know. She doesn't really look like Raiden May to me. She looks.
I actually don't like that. Yeah, at least with the rest of the outfit, I don't think it fits actually, because I think that hair is a bit too much. Because it kind of like, because you see the thing behind her. I'm not sure what it is. The kind of like outfit part behind her.
Like a ribbon. Kind
yeah,
of
like they at least in the second picture, they like extended it way too much in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's a sash.
Yeah, like some kind of sash. Like that got extended way too much. It looks kind of, in my opinion, looks pretty cluttered. Like maybe this would be like a. Like, maybe this could look like a boss form, maybe? But...
I get.
Yeah, I don't know. I
think something that's important to note is that the design on the right matches what she wore in the cutscene thing.
Yeah, like, but I see that as, like, more of, like, a boss fight kind of look. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like the... Because here's the other thing. You know how Bao Raiden, she's supposed to be, like... She's supposed to seem like a pretty, she's meant to be, what's that word? She's meant to be kind of like ruthless. She's meant to be really serious, really mean, kind of like mean. But one of the initial complaints I had when they leaked the model was that I feel like her face looks way too soft. She literally just looks like Yinger 2.0. Like if Yinger became a playable character. And I really didn't like that because I feel like she looks too gentle. She doesn't look like the ruthless, like the...
I think a big thing for that is remember this is a leak and not like how MiHoYo wants to present it. So hopefully it'll be different when it releases. I disagree. I think she looks completely fine in that role. Especially in the first teaser one, like the teaser picture where she has the knee up. If you look at the face, I think the face looks really good for that actually.
I don't know. I don't like it either. No, actually, I think I just don't like her outfit in general and her face.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot. I'm definitely still pulling for her.
Okay, Media, would you want to see changes? Like if once they Riho releases it, would you want to see some sort of like some changes made?
No, I think if MiHoYo should go with what they go with. Honestly, if this is designed for her, then I'm completely fine with it. Like, what is it? Because that's my at least problem with this is that people are changing her to what they want instead of her being presented as who she is. You know, I'd rather prefer this is the character MiHoYo envisioned. This is the character that they wanted to show us, and I will accept that. Like, I don't want it to be changed by like players who want something else. That's my thing.
Fair enough, but I think for me personally, I just don't like this design at all, and I'm probably.
I mean, that's fine. You didn't dedicate your whole account to her. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, that's the thing, cause like, she was gonna be that next character I look forward to, but since I don't really want her anymore, I'm just like, dude, what character do I want to go for next? I think I'm just like,
Yeah, that's
for now, I
fine.
think I'm gonna go husbanders. Like I feel like unless like
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, either that or Signora. Signora, I really like Signora's. I actually think Signora looks way better than the Raiden arc. I'm like, god dang.
Yeah, that's 100% fine. Like, listen, I've been waiting for this character ever since Zhongli's cutscene said that the next place we're going is Inazuma, which is a place based off Japan, and she's gonna be the Electro Archon. Like, that's all I needed for me to like her, and then these leaked images just made me like her even more, because I'm like, her design looks great. So, she's coming from Inazuma, a place that I'm sure I'll like. She's Electra, which is just something that I just like as well, and her design is great to me. There's nothing else I would want.
Yeah, I was the same. Like when they said, "Oh, Bao, Raiden, Inazuma," I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm so kid, and then they released it. Or no, not really. Someone like the fucking leaked it, and I'm like, okay, I lost my hype. Never mind, I don't want this anymore.
I mean, no, yeah, mine got in. Listen, you're just not a true Raiden main. That's it. That's all it is. The true Raiden mains are gonna rise up. Like, honestly though, I actually like. It's so weird. I actually prefer it this way, where most people actually don't like her design, because I actually a lot of times with the characters that I like. In like Persona 5, right? The character that I like in Persona 5 is Hifumi. She's not even a main character. But that's the character I like. I actually prefer it a little bit, honestly, when the character that I like the most, not that many other people like her. Because I think that's just, I don't know. Like, it's just a weird thing for me where I actually prefer that. Than everybody being like, yo, best character, let's go. I actually could prefer it more when it's just like, this is like the low-key character not many people pay attention to. But she's actually really cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, nah, I'm just loyal to, I'm loyal to Zhongli. It's only like I did recently. I'm delving in so much Zhongli and child fan stuff, fan made content that I just like him so much now. It's gonna be hard for me to like move on from them and find another character. Kiryu says. She was viewed as ruthless, not angry though. Yeah, I agree. That's why I feel like she's way too soft. And then Kiryu says Ba represents a more modern Archon, so maybe that explains why her outfit more casual per se. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think Sky mentioned this as well. Yes, I think like that kind of correlates with what Sky said.
Yeah, that's it. And people like Venti's design with his diaper pants, so that's interesting.
I've heard a lot of people say they don't like Venti's design.
Oh, really? I mean, I think it's fine. It looks like a bard.
Wait, Sky, what did you say?
Just saying how the pants may have come from particular. It looks familiar. I feel like I've seen it in some other kind of Europe. It would definitely be something that comes from
European.
Kind of European influence. Yeah.
I think Bards wore them, right? You know how Bards wore those like in the palace? They wore those huge baggy pants when they're performing and stuff. I don't know. I just see a lot of like those really old drawings depicting Bards wearing those huge baggy pants. Zonli and Child is amazing. Yes, holy shit, such an amazing ship. Wait, Media, do you ship Zonli with any characters?
His wife.
Guizhong.
Yeah. Yeah, when it comes to shipping characters in Genshin, well, just in general, usually when they have a relationship or had a relationship with someone, I don't usually ship them, except, like, even sometimes Raven. Like, I'm fine with, like, the Raven Rena thing, but I'm not that too passionate about it. In terms of Genshin, like, I need to look at the characters again. In terms of Genshin, like, I like the Fischl and Bennett thing they do sometimes. Let's see. Let me kind of think of anything else. Like that, yeah, that's probably like one of the ones off the top of my head that like they do that sometimes, and like I'll see that in fan art and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Or like the main character in like Every Girl. Like I'm fine. Like I think that one's cool too. Like
a harem.
Yeah, well, not the harem, just like the main character. Like if the main character gets shipped with a girl, I'm just like I could see that. Not in the sense that he has a harem, more in the sense of just like he could go with this girl or this girl kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't think it was confirmed that Guizhong and Zhongli ever had a thing. But it's just like
very close.
Yeah, they were just very close. It was never confirmed that they were ever dating or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just they were really close friends.
Yeah. I just said wife just because it's kind of presented almost in that way, but I don't think they've ever said it straight out.
Yeah, dude, I'm very curious about that as well. Cause like,
cause that's what it is. That's what he's holding in his statue, is the puzzle that she left behind for him.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, I don't know if you guys ever saw that Zhongli and Azure are kind of gay too.
No, it's his pet dog. His loyal pet dog.
Okay, so I'm
Here's
gonna
a
send you.
thing. Okay.
What? Wait, what? What did you say? Sir?
Never mind.
Oh, I don't know what to say.
No, it's fine.
Okay, I'll send this link to this cutscene where like Zoli was so sad in his story quest where with the Ashtaha one. He was so sad. I feel so bad for him. I'm like, can this man just be happy?
Yeah, again, I've said it before. Everybody you knew near and dear to you died except for the town drunk. That's his life.
Yeah. I mean, look. I think Venti visits only every now and then.
Yeah, but he's the town drunk. Like,
Town drunk.
you don't want him all the. He's not like super close, but it's nice to have around sometimes.
Yes, I guess. Company in small doses. The 6-hour sobering tea is still the most iconic line.
Yeah, no, that one's funny. I actually like their dynamic a little. I wish they had more cutscenes together, actually.
Yeah, I really want a cutscene where Zonli meets Venti or something. But yeah, I just feel very bad for Zonli's character. I'm like, oh my god,
I mean,
please just make.
That's his character.
Dude, sometimes Zonli and Raven are just like polarized. Not polarized, but
They have similarities. Yeah, they have similarities.
It's just like both of them lost. Like they have like a female character that has had a significant impact on them, and then both of them lost that female character. And I'm like, why? There's a pattern going on without interest. No. $5. One of Zoni's quests will be involving his memories of Guizhong. I think so too, because we've had one with Zonli and Ajdaha. Like, surely we're gonna get Zonli and Guizhong.
That's it. Yeah. No, I feel like one of the story quests is us gonna be helping him solve the puzzle. I think we're gonna eventually solve the puzzle and see what's inside.
Yeah. Ooh,
I think so. I mean, I assume he has it. That's what he's doing in his free time. I assume he's trying to figure out that puzzle.
Maybe. What was I gonna say? Just random fun fact. Did you know that Zhong in Guizhong and Zhongli do not mean the same thing? It's not the same Zhong.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So the Zhong in Guizhong means to end. It was ending, yeah. To end, like an ending of something. Zhong in Zhongli's name is like clock, time, like time and stuff. Guili Guili Plains, it's a combination of Guizhong's name and Zhongli's the Li in Zhongli. So in a way, it kind of just means like it kind of translates to repeated parting in a way, because the Gui in Guizhong means to repeat or something, to return. Oh yeah, return. Yeah, return. And then the Li in Zhongli's name just means like part and distance, like stuff. So kind of like when you put the names together, it kind of sounds like it's like an oxymoron, repeated parting or something like that. It's interesting because I wonder if Rex Lapis made the name Zhongli to kind of like polarize Guizhong's name and kind of be like the opposite of Guizhong's name.
Balance out. Actually, balance is a very, very important thing in Chinese culture, at least. Like making sure that everything is in balances.
Yeah.
Like the yin and yang type of idea.
Yeah.
Actually, I know that there was a story when my mom was naming me, like giving me a Chinese name. And as all Asian parents too, they go to a fortune teller to determine how exactly it should be written. And then I think, so my Chinese name has the sun radical in it. I think. And so my mom said that it was because the fortune teller told her that the sun radical needed to be in there to balance out the yin or yang energy. It comes to this level of superstition. So Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, the Chinese has like very interesting names of like ways of naming their children. Like a lot of boys would have the character dragon in their name because you know dragon's cool, but you don't see as much girls who have the word phoenix in their names. But I did have one kid who I went to high school with. His Chinese name literally translates to Big Rain because on the day he was born it was pouring rain, so they called him Big Rain in Chinese. Well, my Chinese name though, I don't think there's any particular meaning behind it. I think my dad just liked the Chinese author and just named me after her. That's it.
Which I think is, I don't know, I feel like most Chinese people would name their kid after some kind of like concept.
Usually,
like,
names are really important in Chinese culture.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like in Western society they're like, oh, this name sounds nice.
Yeah. You know how like in West, there's like a lot of celebrities who try to make up a Chinese name for themselves, right? And they use their Western, change their Western name into Chinese name, but it just doesn't work, and they end up getting a really weird sounding Chinese name.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. So I can't think of an example because I forgot them, but I remember learning this in like my uni Chinese course, and they were just like, some Western celebrities do have some pretty dodgy ass Chinese name, not gonna lie.
I feel like, I obviously don't say it because I know Crow and Sky know my real name, but I feel like it actually might be pretty easy to do my real name, but I just wanted to well, just because it's technically part of it is like an actual object, you know what I mean? Don't say it, but I can just type it. Yeah. Hold on, I just type it to you.
Transliteration.
No. You mean like, as in we translate your name to Chinese name, me too?
Yeah, my real name. Here, I'll type it real quick and.
Like transliterate it?
Yeah. So yeah, cause that's what you guys were talking about, right? These celebrities doing that shit. But I feel like mine would be easy, just cause here I'll just type it to you. Don't say anything, but there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Cause I think that's what makes it easy.
It literally have the word rock in it.
I could say that.
Yeah. Oh my god, you're Zhongli! Meteor, you're Zhongli!
Anyway, moving on.
I just realized also named Meteor is a rock as well.
Moving on before people figure it out.
Wait.
Gotta move on before Crow says something and then gives it away.
Yeah.
No one will guess them.
You don't underestimate people. These people are sharp.
Okay.
Yes.
It's actually interesting how like you keep your, cause I'm pretty sure this is like I'm like what, because I was like thinking it's interesting how you keep your actual identity hidden from like your online persona and stuff, whereas me, I'm pretty sure everyone in my chat knows in my Twitch chat knows my real name.
I mean, to be fair, you make posts on like Elseword's Facebook a lot.
Yeah, I feel like it's so easy to just like, if you just went on Facebook and went on Elsa post and you just looked in the comment section and you saw my name repeatedly appear on it, you'd probably be very easy to link two and two together. Yeah,
I know. I know Ella's because she gave me a PayPal money. That popped up.
Oh wait, I thought Ella's real name was Ella.
Anyway.
Wait, shit, is it not Ella?
I don't know. It might just be
Okay.
Ella. It's my middle name.
Yeah, Ella's my middle name, yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Not sure if Sky knows mine, but I'm pretty sure someone in our old Skype group guessed it for Kiryu.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, my thing with the whole, like, naming thing is I like keeping kind of my identity that I have online separate from, like, kind of, quote-unquote, my real-life identity. Just
Fair enough, yeah.
I just prefer that.
Yeah. I think frequently with how modern social media works, like there's a bit of a blur when it comes to like online life and reality, like their real life.
It depends. I feel like it depends. Like, I think if it depends like where kind of you started with the internet and social media. I feel like if you started from like video games and that kind of culture, that you much probably rather prefer it to be separate. But I feel like if you got into like this kind of social media boom or whatever with social medias, like Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, people just use their real names as their account names or whatever.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
I'll see that a lot. There's like a big difference between people like us who name ourselves like Meteor Falcon, Mommy Crow, Skyrus, compared to people who name themselves like God tier Eric or whatever. You know, they'll put their real name in their usernames because they're just like that's just what they do.
But then you've also got people like you know how like Pokimane, Toast, Lily Pichu, like those kind of big streamers where I feel like their online persona.
Yeah, like Tim the Tatman too. I feel like that's another thing. Like I feel like that's different too. Is like maybe when you reach like a certain kind of like I feel like when you reach a certain amount of popularity, people just know your name, like your real name.
Yeah, because they just want to stalk. They just start stalking.
It just gets out there. Like there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Yeah, fair. Because I was thinking like cancel culture. Part of the reason why cancel culture is so big is because that barrier between work personality and real life has just like blended together.
Yeah.
So I think like, because of that, cancel culture has gotten really big, which I hate.
Dream. Well, that's part of Dream's shtick. I feel like that's part of his popularity too. Is how good he keeps who he is in real life a secret.
Yeah.
Like so much so that's like part of his branding. I guess you could call it that.
True.
Yeah.
Except he still managed to get cancelled.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Minecraft scam. Cheating in Minecraft. Oh no! What a big deal breaker! Oh, what a big. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Minecraft. Never played it in my entire life.
Yeah, I think I just hang out on the internet too much. I'm keeping up with all the drama that I don't. I'm not even in that fandom. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I'm gonna watch this video. Boredom. Okay. Hello, are you Miran? I was like, do you guys want to go through some questions we have in the questions channel?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, we could, yes.
Yes. Oh yeah. Speaking of, I feel like for next week. Next week let's do that top 10 videos we've played and our favorite thing.
Video games? Okay.
Yeah. So this week just go home and just think about like your top 10 video games you've played, and then we'll go through them. Just write them down, then we'll go through them next week and we'll talk about that.
Sure.
I think. Next week. Other than that though, okay, right. Let's go through some questions. Let me see. Should we go from?
Can we put ours? Yeah, sure. As Comet Challenge, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. Anyone can participate. Look, I'd appreciate if people in chat actually just engage with us more. It's nice. Okay. So I think the earliest question I have is May 21, but that's a sensitive question.
We may have asked it without you. I feel like we did. Which question is it?
Is it sensitive? I was like, would you rather someone talk?
Yeah, we actually talked about that in the podcast that you were asleep in. A little bit. Because we were just like, oh, well, I'm not gonna mark it because I feel like Crow might want to talk about this too.
Oh, well, what did you guys say in that one?
Read it again so I can remind myself.
Would you rather someone talk bad behind your back but are still happy to be your friend, or they confess their issues with you to your face honestly?
Confess the issues.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Because I mean to pretty much summarize what I said last time is I don't really like fake people, and I just appreciate trustworthiness and all that.
Okay, but what if like they don't, like when they talk behind your back, it's not anything bad. It's just like it's just their personality type where they like to gossip, but they don't actually say anything harmful to your reputation. They just like talking behind people's back, even though their words have no merit.
I think that's a little bit different question. If it's just harmless discussion, then that's fine. If it's like talking majorly negative about them, like, oh man, I hate this person, kind of like that kind of gossip, like they do this and that, that's what I hate about them. Like, that's different from being like, oh, this is this funny thing this person did, and then you laugh about it with your different friend. Like, I feel like that's different.
Not funny. Still, like they still have like minor complaints, but it's just like it's nothing bad that would ruin your reputation kind of complaint.
I feel like that's
so you mean something like, oh, they talk a bit fast. Sometimes they can't understand.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's a different question, and to that question, I mean, I guess it's fine. Yeah, I mean, that's not a, it's more of a pet peeve than like a big deal.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but even at the same time, I would still rather hear that. Like, if I talked fast, I would rather you tell me, and like, I'd rather you tell me than like tell someone else.
Okay. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair. Fair.
Yeah.
Kiryu says, usually talking behind your back entails something negative per se. If they have beef, it's better you get to put out a rebuttal. Yes, but at the same time, I'm like, if they're still cool with me, they talk behind my back, but they're still cool with me and they still want to interact with me, then I don't care if they don't want to bring it up with me. Because I'm just like, eh. I don't really care too much per se. kind of thing. Like, I mean, for me, it's just like, if someone would just randomly stop liking me or something like that, I really wouldn't care. Like, if they just want to end a friendship, I'm just like, okay, bye, I'm out. Have a good day.
Nah, I'm not like that. My friendships are so important to me.
Oh, okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. Nah, friendship has the word end in it, and I'm just... Okay, fair enough then. I'll put a check mark on that. Okay. Okay, the next question was, it's Elsword related. In the context of raid and Elsword, are magical parties more favored or physical parties? Specifically in the North America community.
What raid?
Let's do one for roster raid and one for birth raid.
I think for birth, physical is better because physical has better debuffs, I think.
Oh,
Maybe,
okay.
or physical just might have better ignore defense characters.
Cause okay.
Because physical has
Sure, there's
Diangelion, physical has Liberator, physical has technically Catastrophe, who can do really good if you get good RNG.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But Rosso Raid would be more magical party favored.
I think so either.
Yeah, I don't know for Rosso.
Because Diangelion, Liberator.
Yeah, Diangelion and Liberator still trash Rosso.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it comes just down more to the one of the best classes in the game at the moment.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. Because I think because I always assumed that magical was more prominent in the North America server, but I thought that it was different with server to server, because like apparently the European server is definitely on a physical meta. But I wasn't sure about NA server, whether physical was the meta or magical was the meta.
I think it depends a lot on who decides to main what as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So say, because we just happen to have a lot of set mains.
Yeah, and we have, and conversely, we have little to no Liberator mains, even though he's like, before this patch, the strongest character in the game.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious to me.
It's so, I find it so interesting how like the different communities, like the different servers, they have such different like metas. They can have such different metas, and also like just like there's like subtle like obscure like differences in each server, and I find that interesting. Yeah. Didn't bring a Nova Imperator. Also, OMG, the Nova Imperator MP buff is so nice. Yeah. We were talking about that today, actually, at the start of the podcast. A lot of them.
Yeah, no, I think I just think it just more goes with the classes, and then they just happen to be physical or magical. Like I think, what is it? Doombringer's pretty high up there when it comes to DPS. But I still think Liberator and Diangelion beat him out. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Diangelion and Doombringer still beat him out. I mean, Diangelion and Liberator still beat him out.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dominator's good too, and he's also physical, thanks to his Masterclass skill.
Yeah, that ignore defense kind of nutty, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's just what Birth is. If you have ignore defense, you're just going to do crazy damage because you have a lot of defense.
I think North America is just that kid eating blue in the corner of the class. What the heck? That's strangely specific.
I mean, it's hard to tell because, like, you can only... That's the thing, I think, when it comes to, I mean, just Elsword, whatever games, it's all dependent when people put up online, you know? Like
Yeah.
there could be like god tier level characters that just don't make content and we just don't know about it from these other servers. Like they could like like people in their own servers might know about them, but we might know about them because they don't make stuff.
True.
Yeah.
They're like, Elsa community is interesting. Where like, I think it's also partly because it's such a small community, but it's the people in this community seem very shy compared to other communities. Like they don't post things as much online.
Yeah. Yeah, the only communities that overlap, at least in my experience, is NA and EU.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think that's the only, at least to me. And I mean, there was that small little time, and that everybody kind of talked with each other during international tournament. Like that air just kind of made it so people interacted with each other.
Yeah.
Aside from that, like I've interacted with KR players on occasion. You know, language barrier obviously makes things very difficult, but all the people I've talked to have been very nice people. Yeah, I don't know, but it mostly it's like whenever I talk to a Korean player, it's mostly just like, yo, what's up? What are you doing? What character do you play? Oh, cool. I play this character. You know, very basic things, just because language barrier, obviously.
Okay, yeah, true. Because I feel like especially between the Asian community and the West, like the Eastern and Western community specifically, there's just a huge barrier between those two. Like it's just like I guess partly because of language barriers as well. Yeah, and also because our updates just don't match up.
Yeah, like I don't know if the TW server interacts with like the Korean server at all. Like I think I maybe interacted with like a handful of TW elsewhere players.
Hunter asked Meteor, how do you feel when Nova and Pro get this MP region buff so far? I think
it's good. I like it. No complaints.
I think like this whole week Meteor's just been very clear about how he feels about like I think he's posted a lot of videos on YouTube about his opinion, and I think last podcast, did you guys talk about a last podcast like the Nova buffs?
Last podcast, I think so. No, we talked about the conference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
me and Sky just went very specific with the conference. Like that's all we talked about last week.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay. So you only talked about this was the only podcast where you talked about the Nova buffs.
Yeah. I mean, real quick as well. Anything you wanted to talk about with the conference? I feel like me and Sky gave all our opinions. Any highlights for you?
True. Like, I can't. I feel like like anything I wanted to talk about, it'd have to be like you bring it up and then I could talk about that point. Was there anything like in particular that stood out to you guys from the conference that you guys wanted to talk about?
Here, let me pull up real quick. Let me pull up the summary that they made. First of all, I feel like they didn't get enough praise for the fact that they said they would post this summary in 2 weeks, and then first of all, no, they said they would post a summary in 1 week. And then after that, they said they would post the detailed response to all the times they said, oh, we'll talk about it or we'll think about it, like in 2 weeks. They did it in like 5 days. Like, I feel like that's respectable.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah. People just like to shit on things. They just want to find something to complain about. Like, it's easier to complain about something than to compliment something. So I feel like if there's no one complaining, I think then you did a great job.
Yeah, like... Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna re-chat. What were you gonna say?
No, go ahead. Yeah, I was just looking at these things.
I think personally that's a very bad mindset a very bad trap to fall into, actually. In terms of if no one is complaining, you're good to go.
Yeah,
I think it's a very, very, very dangerous trap to fall into.
But I feel like...
No, specifically when it comes to companies, right? Who are trying to appeal to a consumer base, because I feel like it's much easier for someone to write a bad review than someone to write a good review. You know. I
don't know about easier, but I feel like it makes you. It just gets you more passionate, or.
Yeah. Like that. Like people are more likely to complain about things than actually like point out the good things of a company.
Yeah.
Specifically in the case of a company, not in like in other cases. So it's because of that. I just say like, oh, the mindset that. If no one's complaining, if you're a company and no one's complaining, you've got no complaints yet, then I think it's a good thing, because it's just a psychological thing with people when it comes to these things.
Oh, okay. Actually, here's one thing I actually want to talk about with you guys. So one thing that kind of got reveals or just got more explained more is this kind of idea, and this is something I want to talk about with you guys, is the idea of Elsword employees, right? So essentially, when it comes to Elsword, apparently, working for KOG and working on Elsword is apparently something really good to start your career if you want to get into, like, I guess either gaming or like programming. But apparently at the same time, it's also not something you will want to stay in. So people use Elsword as like a jumping off point for their career. So it's like, okay, I worked for Elsword, I worked for KOG, and then I worked on this other game, or I work on this other programming thing. But so people never stay, and then that got my mind thinking. And I'm curious what you guys think about this. I feel like that is like a root cause of a lot of the balancing issues in Elsword. And let me give you an example, right? So we have birth rate, right? And the birth rate exists. The newest character that came out after birth rate is Noah. All of Noah's classes are perfect for birth rate. I think we can all agree with that, yeah?
Yeah.
And I think the reason why is because the people who made birth rate made Noah. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm creating a character and I just made this birth rate, I'm just like, okay, I gotta make this character good for the content I just made. Okay, I'll make Liberator, give him defense ignore, all this stuff. I'll let him cast skills really fast. Bam, I'm making Celestia. Okay, gotta give him some like MP stuff. Some good like some good buffs, some ignore defense here. Making Nyx. Okay, I gotta include this buff, this buff, this buff. Like it's so easy to make a character based off content you already made, compared to you have all these other cast of characters that are made by different people for a different part of the game, different part of the game's history, and it's just like they weren't tailor-made for the content that exists now, which is birth rate. They've been tweaked a little bit to kind of get to that level, but they weren't created by the same people who made birth rate, and that's why I think that Noah is so good for birth rate, is because he was made by the people who made birth rate. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I feel like, I think I can definitely see that, because I feel like sometimes a lot of the stuff in Elsa just gets passed. It just seems like they get passed around from hand to hand. It just feels like it's like they can't settle on a specific concept for each of the characters.
And I think it's because it's the changing employees, honestly.
Yeah, I think that might be, there might be some truth to that.
Yeah, because that's how I'm thinking about it. And I think, I mean, something that they could do to remedy that is just kind of have like, this would obviously be a lot of work, but honestly, like character revamps when a new character comes out, like I'm sure that'd be a lot of work, but it's just like, because like having people who made birth rate, if people who made birth rate, if they made like these other characters, or they were there when those characters were created, I'm sure they would have been updated to meet the current standards. But it's just that they already existed before, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's just like
old.
They're just older
Every
characters.
time every time there's new content, just feels like the old characters need to get an overhaul or something.
And I think the characters that were already good, it was just kind of like coincidental that they were just kind of good in the outgoing content, because when Chung CC and Scent were kind of created, things like Wonderwall and like Tactical Field, they weren't super game changing things. They were cool things and they were nice things, but in an environment for their time, I feel like they were just kind of as similar as like an Atomic Shield or like whatever other Iron Body super armor buff. Like it was kind of at that same level. But now in an environment with birth rate, it's like, okay, now these coincidentally just get amplified because now they're in an environment where they can really flourish.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Oh, Hunter's talking about fourth pass. Oh, Ella. Dark skin Rena would be amazing. I prefer Rena fourth pass to have lines inject to teammates and use dope on them. Actually, I don't know. Do you guys want to talk about fourth pass speculations this podcast?
I don't mind.
Okay, Rena having dark skin though. If she had dark skin, she'd become a dark elf. She'd become a different race. So I don't know if that would work.
I mean, I think one thing when it comes to fourth path is just like the whole it won't work. I think you can be creative enough with anything to make anything work. So, like, I think like they could pull their hand and be like, because of this L power or whatever, she's able to change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like saying, oh yeah, No, because that's like the issue. Like that's like I feel like you shouldn't stray too much from the game's lore, right? You gotta stick to some sort of realism in a game. Where even if it's a fictional world, I think you need to have some sort of realism.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is that like the reasons for it? You can make whatever you want for like the bridge.
The bridge.
Yeah. Because technically they're the writers. They're in control of everything, so they can pull some like magic shenanigans that allow Venom to become a dark elf.
Like Hersher's not even a person; he's a concept.
Yeah, but at least like with Hersher and stuff, at least to begin with, Iron was kind of more like a not vessel, but he's always been like some sort of I don't know the word for it, but he's just not a normal being, right? He's meant to be some sort of like he's more like a spirit entity rather than a being kind of thing. But I think like yes, writers can do what they want, but I feel like they shouldn't push it too much. They shouldn't like abuse the plot or armor or something like that. Or something.
I mean, I think if the explanation's good enough, I'm fine with it. If they can explain it well, I think I'd be fine with like almost anything.
I don't know. I feel like Rena becoming a dark elf that'd just be a bit weird because dark elves are a different race. Like it wouldn't make sense. I think logically speaking, because like it's like saying, oh, I'm gonna make the sheep become a cow. It's like doesn't make sense to me genetically.
I mean, it's about to say genetically these characters don't exist. That's what I'm saying.
They of course.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is like in a fictional world, there should be some form of realism. Like you shouldn't just bend everything like whenever you want to.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying like she becomes in essence a dark. I'm not saying she becomes a real like her biology changes. I was thinking more like in essence she becomes a dark elf.
Oh, you mean like she manipulates the power of the elf?
Yeah. I wasn't saying she biological becomes like a different creature or thing like that.
It's interesting.
Like she'll have the powers and stuff of a dark elf.
It'd be okay. Yeah, here's the other thing. Like, because Iron and Lou switch where Lou will be angel and Iron be demon. No, I don't think that won't work. I don't like that. Like that's the same thing as what I'm saying right now, where like you're just pushing the boundaries, you're just pushing the limits of your own rule, the rules you've established in your own world, and I feel like no, you shouldn't do that. But even like even then, what you mentioned about Rena just manipulating the powers of the Dark Elf. I don't know how to feel about it.
I mean, I think it all just depends on execution. If I think it's executed well, you can do almost any idea.
Because you know how elves are supposed to like their whole concept is supposed to be resonating with nature, like you know with
yeah.
Like,
I mean, well, in Elsewhere, dark elves still do that.
Yeah, but I think just dark elves and actual elves in Elsewhere are so different. I just don't know. I'm like thinking about it, and I'm like I'm trying to wrap my head around the idea of Rena using dark elf, but it seems weird. It's like how in Bleach, fucking Ichigo is one of everything in the whole thing, and I'm like, okay, now this is just getting ridiculous. I'm just kind of like, I really didn't like that. How like, oh, he's human. Oh, now he's a Soul Reaper. Oh wait, he's actually a Hollow. Oh wait, manga spoilers. Close your ears in 3, 2, 1. He's also a Quincy. What the fuck? He's.
I mean, I think they actually explained it not that bad. I'm fine with the explanation they gave. Like it's weird and like it's definitely weird, but I think the explanation was fine.
I've always hated it because I'm just like, wow, this is some serious main character plot armor right now. This is getting ridiculous,
That's
and
fine.
I kind of just lost.
There's a different strokes for different folks.
I guess maybe yeah, but I feel like if you're gonna establish rules in your own world and stuff like, or not really establish rules, it's more like subconsciously like just this like common sense kind of basic stuff that you shouldn't violate, right? And then if you go and like. You establish a setting, a context, a world, right? And then you break your own rules in your own world. I'm like, I don't know. That world kind of loses its sense of like realisticness, like not realisticness because it's a fantasy world, but it loses its sense of like order in that fictional world. In its sense, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, I'd rather have creativity than rigidness.
Yeah. But like, you want to give your like creation some sort of tangibility, you know, like.
I think here's the thing. I think what it comes down to is that would people enjoy it? Like, for example, if Rena was turned into a dark elf, would people enjoy that? If people enjoy that, I think it's fine.
I guess I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
I
think different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. Because I think for me personally, part of my enjoyment is like, will this make sense? Will it like, does it interweave with the plot and stuff? Like, if like usually I get like my favorite things is once there's a plot point revealed and it just works so well. I'm like, oh shit, this is so good. Like that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even like they just put it in for the sake of it being cool. I'm like, if it's like to some extent, I can accept it, right? If it's cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just like too ridiculous, like too blasphemous, I'm gonna be like, okay, this ruins it for me.
Yeah, but
if it just
what is it? 100 people could just disagree with you, and I think that's fine. I think everybody's entitled to their own opinion on that.
Yeah, because if I had to like use an analogy and describe it, it's kind of like say you're designing a dress and you're using a specific like palette of colors, right? But then you decide to like be random, throw in a fucking black among like warm colors, like just a big patch of black. Like what the fuck? Why?
Well, someone could. Well, that's the thing. Like, I think the opposition is someone could be super into that. Just like, whoa, that black adds this, and this to it, and they actually like it. I think it's just different strokes for different folks. I think that's all it is.
I guess, yeah. I guess, but for me personally, I don't dig that.
Because you could say the same thing about the Nisha path for Labby. It's just like, oh, Nisha's always the mirror. It's just like, no, they went out of the grain a little bit and they switched them. Like, and I think that went into something actually really cool. Because I think Nisha Labyrinth is one of the best Labby paths in terms of the story. But it's definitely something that's like not quite without. It's literally the opposite of Labby. They literally switch places.
Yeah. Curious says that's not how they came to be. The Dark Elves existed before they were forced to go to the Demon World. Discrimination against them by the normal elves is why they went to the Demon World, and that's where the Dark Elf influenced them and changed their characteristics. Rena could definitely have a corrupted path similar to how Chloe became Fallen Chloe. The thing about Rena being influenced by the Dark Elf was actually brought up in one of the story quests in Elrenode.
Yeah, I think in Elsword's lore that Dark Elves,
Yeah, but aren't they still a different race? Because they got discriminated against for their dark skin, right?
I think that just comes from corrupt. I don't think they were born with that.
Really? Then why were the Dark Elves discriminated against?
Because that happened. Like the thing that Q just said happened to them.
What? What? No, I thought Dark Elves was always dark.
I don't know.
Yeah, same. That's what I thought too. Like they were dark, got discriminated against, went to the Demon Realm, and then as a result, that's how they started using Dark Elf power.
Yeah, so
this is assuming that Dark Elf power Dark Elf power isn't necessarily the thing that gave them dark skin. It could just be they were.
So basically, pretty much, so elves are different too. That's still curious. That still doesn't change my argument. Where elves are still innately different to dark elves, like biologically, or to some extent biologically.
Well, unless the
races.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I just don't know. I'm just not knowledgeable about that lore part.
I don't know how realistic I should make fictional worlds. Well, it's just like at the same time, like some sort of realism. I would appreciate some sort of realism because I don't want people like just doing whatever they want with a fictional world.
But again, at the same time, I think it can lead to something good like the Nisha path. So I think like there's definitely a good amount of rigidity you can do. But it's just like, I think being creative in a certain extent is also nice, just because you have things like the Nisha path.
Like a creative liberty, liberty and stuff.
Again, I think it just all depends on how it's executed.
Even the Nisha path makes sense, because Nisha
because they made it make sense. That's what I'm saying, execution. They made it make sense. But I think on paper, if you're just like, what if Labby and Nisha switch places? It's like, oh, they can't really do that. The way that Labby and Nisha are created, like Labby was created as the body and Nisha was created as the mirror. Like that's the rules of that character. But it's just like the way that they did it. That's what matters, the execution.
Okay, but how would you make Rena become a Dark Elf?
I don't know. I'm not the writer. That's what I'm saying.
I feel like you just can't. Like, I feel like you just can't just give a book.
Well, again, I don't know the lore of the elves and stuff like that, so I can't say.
No, I think it doesn't make sense because elves and dark elves are biologically different. They're two different races. You can't just have one. Like, it's like saying, oh, Aisha's gonna become an elf in her fourth path, is what I'm saying. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense.
Well, elves and dark elves are still related. Aisha going to an elf would be weird because Aisha's not an elf.
No,
that's what I'm saying. There's a relation still between them. That's what gives it that option.
Okay, but I don't think dark elves and elves are the same. I don't think like, but I guess like that's just what I think.
That's what I'm saying. They're related. That's what I'm saying. And so that they're related. So there is that kind of route to do that. But it's just like what bridges that gap is just like the execution.
The relation between elves and dark elves is kind of like it's divergent evolution is what I'm trying to say. They're not the same. Like they're from this. They might have started from the same point, but it's a divergent evolution.
Like listen here. I just thought about something. So if Rena gets more influenced by Dark Elf and Dark L, and then so she's using the techniques that the Dark Elves use. She still looks like Rena, but after continual use of the Dark L, it just happens to change her the way she looks. Just because she keeps using it. Kind of like, for example, how like when Seal becomes more demonic, or anybody in the Elsword cast becomes more demonic, they get white hair. Like continual use of the power just happens to change how she looks. She's not different biologically, but she's using these techniques and things that Dark Elves use, and it just happens to change how she looks.
I guess the question is like, is Dark Elf just like a branch of the Elven race, or are they a completely divergent evolution kind of thing? I guess that would be the question.
I don't know. I just don't know the lore of that.
So yeah. I guess it's like for that, then you have to like kind of like, but even then, so pretty much it is like it's either Dark Elf is a subspecies of the elf, or Dark Elf is a divergent evolution of elf. And I'm like, even then, even if they're a subspecies, still wouldn't make sense for an elf to suddenly become a dark elf. Like. Unless you don't consider dark elf like a whole.
I mean, okay, hold on. I think you're going a little bit too intense on this. Are you okay with the explanation I gave just now of how that could happen?
Yeah, but the explanation you give, right? That's assuming that dark elves is like not biologically different. That's then you're just
no. I mean, but I'm not saying that she becomes. I think you're too pressed on the idea that she becomes an exactly dark elf. I'm saying that she just uses the skills and the things that they use. And then her appearance happens to change.
No, I got what you mean. But my point is, then in that case, she still technically wouldn't be a dark elf. She's just an elf that uses dark elf.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think I would.
Yeah, I think you're hitting a different thing there. I don't think really anybody was saying she was changing biology.
In that case, like if you made it like that, like would dark elf would Dark Elf just be a race, or would it just be a title kind of thing for a different type of elf magic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you went in a whole different direction. I think people at least they were trying to say. I don't think anybody was saying that she would change biologically into a whole different like race or whatever.
I was overlapping my arguments. I was connecting the dots. Corrupted elf. A better name would be for corrupted elf. Okay, corrupted elf. I can take that. Yeah, corrupted elf. Because the idea of corruption has been explored. Corruption by the dark elf dark elf has been explored like very thoroughly in the Elsword lore. So I can accept that. But if she were to become a dark elf, I'd be like, okay. No.
Yeah. Again, I think you're focused on something completely not what people are trying to say.
Corrupted elf. I can take that. Like corrupted elf.
That's. I think I'm pretty sure that's what people meant initially.
Okay. Okay, but Raven speculations. We can't talk about Rena fourth path and not talk about Raven fourth path.
I'm still on the idea that this is the one path that he just accepts the arm, because every other path he rejects it in some way. So I think it'd be cool if there's a path that he accepts it just straight up, and the arm, essentially the arm does what it was supposed to do. Because in all of Raven's path, the arm never does what it's supposed to do.
True.
Because Raven always gets in the way, essentially.
Full Nassod Raven would just become Genos from One Punch Man, I'm telling you. Sky, do you have any speculations about what Raven fourth path would be like?
So it's obvious that the arm feels like it's overtaking him. And I think in the third path, it will overtake him completely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's pretty much like a Nisha situation then.
Yes.
Oh no! Mm-hmm. I would be so sad. I like Raven. I like Raven as he is.
There's actually a couple people on like Raven server that like want him to be like edgy boy, and I'm just like, I kind of don't want that. Like a character that's like, because you know how Raven's all about redemption.
Yeah.
Like a couple of people I've talked to want to take him back to like vengeance kind of thing, where he's just like super edgy and wants
Eula.
vengeance. And I'm just like, not Eula, because she's fun when she does it. I'm talking about like out the edge. Like I'm talking edgy out the edge.
Yeah.
Like a couple of people want that. I'm just like, I kind of like how Raven's not edgy.
Like, to begin with, Raven has always been edgy though.
Yeah, he's always been edgy, but he always had that like cool, collected kind of nature as well. He was never just like pure edge. You know what I mean? Like, like I'm talking pure edge, like ow the edge. Like I'm talking that kind of edge. Like my life was terrible. I will seek vengeance on all of the enemies that did me wrong and whatever like that.
Yeah, that's kind of edgy.
Yeah, like super edgy. Like like kind of MPX territory, except he turns to a kid, so there's lightheartedness there.
Yeah.
That type of.
No, yeah, Raven is definitely the edgy done right for sure.
Yeah. So you know, I think the whole I think that so my thing for fourth path is he gets taken over by the arm, however that happens, you know, whatever story they want to do with that, and then as the path goes on, like the arm just kind of takes over his whole body, and they could do something special with that, with like an awakening mode where like if you ever seen like those like animes where like they had those full body like metal suits, I think they could do that for Raven. That'd be cool looking. Like when he awakens, the arm completely covers his whole body in like mechanical stuff. Because if you look at the Nasad arm, it's actually supposed to be more mechanical, but like the only Raven path that actually accepts it gets mutated because there's problems. So it's more of like a creature type of thing. But if you actually look at like base Raven and Overtaker especially, they're really mechanical. So I'm like kind of curious as to like the mechanical route can kind of like go through that with his design, because like Novus is also mechanical, but like mechanical in like a weapon type of sense. Like he turns it into a weapon.
Yeah.
And then FB turns it into a human hand. So like that's like that's like that route. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's gonna be that, and then I think with the arm taking over him, since he's gonna be a physical class, I think he's gonna use the second arm as equally as he uses his main arm. I don't think there has been a path that's really like that. Like, Rage Hearts just kind of focuses mostly on the arm, and then FB in the third job kind of teases the idea of using the second arm as like a sword arm. But I think this path will use, and then Nova does the second arm mostly for like ammunition. But I think this path will be all about using the sword and the arm kind of equally with their skills. Like you'll have, like maybe they might do a system with that where you have like sword skills and like sword arm skills and like Nasad arm skills, or like I was thinking maybe like he'll have like maybe like an overclock kind of mode where like skills cost more MP and maybe they like do more damage or have different effects, or maybe they have a higher cooldown if you use it in your overclocked mode or whatever, kind of thing like that. And then as well with that, like maybe like the second arm design wise, like maybe it's more of like a blade to kind of go in with that physical line. Maybe it has a hidden blade. Maybe it does like a whole energy blade thing, like the main character of Shin Megami Tensei 5. Yeah, I think just kind of that area is where I'm kind of aiming right now. And then the second, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it'd be cool if Raven fourth pass, like when he awakens, he gets that suit of armor, like how Chung gets his.
Yeah, kind of like that, except like it spawns from the arm.
Yeah. Raven overclocking the CPU, yes.
And then my second idea is more of like a gameplay kind of thing, because I think Sky mentioned this too, of like maybe these fourth paths will be like the support paths, like maybe that's the theme with the Quatator, as they're called, the Quatator. So in that case, I think he would use the Nasard arm as a shield, and the arm's design will be a lot more bulky, and it could fan out into a shield, and he'll be kind of like that CC type of tank support. That's my other theory for it.
Dude, imagining that feels so weird to imagine.
Yeah.
But good work. Curious says, for Furious Blade, his issues with his arm were more psychological. He was unwilling to use it until later on, when he changed its appearance to be more comfortable with. I have people to save, so I'm just make you do what I want. Yeah.
Yeah. FB rejects it Rage Heart tries to counteract it, and then it goes wrong. Nova turns it into a weapon.
Yeah. I feel like in a way, all three job paths of Raven have all been like just a journey of self-acceptance in some way or another.
Yeah, like that's what I love about Raven's story is the what is it, the duality between Rage Hearts and FB, where they kind of like it's all about Raven kind of finding himself and like coming to grips with like who he is now. And
Yeah.
I love the duality with it because I talked about it before. Like the duality is essentially at the end of the day, like when you think about it, Rage Hearts is the most human, and FB is more like a machine because he's so cold.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So-
Because he tries to keep his emotions suppressed so that the arm doesn't have any fuel to work with, so that the arm stays dormant or something
yeah,
like
but
that.
ironically, it becomes a machine that only cares about his swordsmanship. That's all he cares about. He
Yeah.
talks about.
Yeah, the I think that the irony
good.
in Furious is he has a desire to become more like return to back his human form, right? But he actually becomes the least human out of the three Ravens.
Exactly.
That
That duality is great. And then Rage Hearts, because he deals with his issues and he deals with the fact of just like, okay, fine, I may have rejected this, but this is a part of me. I need to accept it. He's the most human, which again, I think it makes sense that he's actually the canon path because of it, but they don't go into that. They turn him into Nova.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Well, actually, speaking of, you know how you mentioned how fourth pass Nova, like if he just went like straight from the get go, just accepted the arm, wouldn't in a way that be too similar to Nova Imperator?
No, because I mean it. So I mean accepting in the arm. They could go. That's why I said they could do whatever they want with it because I can see them doing it in many ways. It's either the Nova route, like you're about to say, where he's just like, I'm using this as a tool to help me protect people. It could be it and just like, I'm not human anymore. I'm not a man. I give up on life essentially, and like whatever happens, happens. It could be that. I had another one in my head that it could be. Yeah, I mean, okay, I guess those are just the two major ones. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna let you do what you want to do, but I'm gonna use you for good means, essentially, or do whatever you want. My life is over, essentially, which is sad, but Raven's story's not happy. So
No, we need to give this man a happy ending.
I mean, that's what Nova is kind of. Nova is his happiest ending, actually, even though he is killing himself.
Yeah. Oh, true. No, that's not happy. I think this man needs to be happy.
Yeah, I mean, that is his happiest ending.
I feel like, because you know how Rage House and Furious Blade, they kind of have a bit of that beef with their arm in a way.
Yeah.
Whereas in Nova Imperator's Pathline, the arm feels a bit like it feels like he doesn't have that conflict with the arm.
Nope. He just like, this is a object. It's just a sword. That's what he's saying. I feel like that's what he thinks about it. It's just like, this is just another sword. It's just another weapon. That's all it is. And I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I don't feel like the arm acts up ever for Nova Imperator.
He puts that immediately in check. Immediately.
Oh dang, he's such a daddy. Oh, sorry.
I mean, obviously, with help from like the people who made it and stuff, you know.
Yeah. Well, with the Pongo's help and stuff, with the whole like.
Yeah, like if you wanted to get into like headcanon-y stuff, you could be like, okay, the limit that he changed it so like maybe that kind of emotional connection got like removed or whatever, or like the new stuff that they put in suppressed that enough that Overtaker couldn't do. Yeah. Because like Overtaker tried to directly repress that, and then it backfired. When Nova was just like, just stuff a bunch of weapons into here. Like, I'm just gonna make this a weapon. Stuff a flamethrower in here. Stuff some harpoons and bullets in here.
Well, actually, yeah, it's interesting how Furious Blade and Rage House, it's something to do with emotions, but then Nova Imperator, like, doesn't matter about emotions, all on the mechanics.
Yeah, for Nova, because that's the thing, I guess, is just like, FB and Rage Hearts need to figure out who they want to be. And Nova's path is a little bit different, because Nova's path ironically backpedals a little bit as Weapon Taker, because he's just like, alright, I'm going to reclaim the glory of Black Crow, and I need this arm to do that. So he becomes like a really good soldier, and then he's just like, okay, Black Crow is dead, I need to protect these friends that I have now. So that kind of like nicely ties itself together Where Overtaker, I mean, Raychar's just like, we need to suppress this thing. Okay, we tried to suppress it, it didn't work. I hate this thing even more. It gets mutated, and he's just like, okay, fine, I'll accept it. And then FB is just like, okay, I'm rejecting it to be a better swordsman. Okay, I'm rejecting it more to be a better swordsman. I'm rejecting it even more, so much so that it turns into a normal arm to be the ultimate swordsman.
No, in a way, Nova is reject human, return to monkey. I'm joking. No. Oh, but in a way, it feels like Raychar's actually lost his fight against the Nasod arm. Then he feels like Raychar's just.
Yeah, but I think that is such a beautiful story too, because it's just like, it goes into themes of just like accepting kind of who you are and like dealing with the hand that you're dealt. Like, there are some things that you're not gonna like about yourself, but they're still part of you, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's so cute. Okay.
Which is why he's great for the story. I just wish that his story is being told. Like, it's not being told.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? Something about Nova. I forgot. Wait, let me read a curious one. Nova is a commander. He went back to his military training.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes back to that kind of lifestyle, and then he's just like, okay, I need to use this power instead of bringing back an army that's dead, protecting my friends. Which I think that's why it's the best path. It's the best path for him, because he's using the power that he has to help his friends, and you know, at the risk of his life, obviously. But that's Raven's story. Raven's story is not a happy one.
Yeah, give this man more. Like, oh my god, Raven needs lots of head pats and hugs.
Yeah.
He's so adorable. But yeah, wait, is there anything else you guys wanted to add or talk about?
For fourth paths, I think one thing that'd be really cool. Who was it? Let me look at the character list again. Oh, yeah. So for Lucille, I think it'd be really cool if their combination skill fused them together. Like, they become one being. I think that'd be cool. If that was like that was like their main gimmick. Like, it turned off the whole combination system. Okay, so their combination skill fuses them together, and that just does whatever. Like, what they can figure it out how they want to figure it out. But it's just like, as that being, they could like use any skill from any person without like there's no switching when you do that, obviously. And then they would have like different combos a little bit as well.
They become one.
Because Innocent does that story-wise, but not gameplay-wise. Yeah.
True. Yeah. I agree actually. Because I was thinking if you did that, wouldn't that just kind of be like Innocent, where like
they're story-wise one person, but not real.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That'd be interesting. I was also kind of worried, like, you know how in third path Lucille, where Steel kind of doesn't have his own identity anymore. He pretty much does just become like an extension of Lu. Steel. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of depressing. If fourth path was like he's completely gone, and Lu just completely absorbs him. It's like, bye Steel, back to being a single character.
No.
Q.
Go ahead.
Q says, Furious Blade didn't become emotionless, actually. He also came to accept what he had, but chose to use his arm to strengthen his own existing skills. While Raychar's focused on newfound strength and progression, Furious Blade chose to focus on what he knew best.
It's hard to tell, because he's not expanded much, but...
Yeah.
The reason why I said Furious Blade only cares about a swordsman is, like, the only thing we have is his voice lines, which are only about his swordsmanship. And then the little teaser kind of text blob that they have about FB, and it only talks about his swordsmanship. There's just not much to go on, unfortunately.
I think Furious Blade does try to suppress his emotions because he doesn't want... he doesn't want the Nasod arm to have anything to act... Like, he doesn't want risk that Nasod arm going out of control. So because of that, he suppresses his emotions. It's in the trivia on the L Wiki, actually. Let me just check.
I think Sky mentioned this too, when she was talking about like the gacha games that she plays where it expands on these characters' stories. I think Elsa really needs that. Is just like these little like extra stories for these other paths we don't know much about because they're not in the main plot.
Yeah, for sure.
Because All we have are voice lines and a little text blurb.
Wait, never mind. I can't find it. But yeah, so I think currently in Elsa we do have a bit of like backstory where like you know how you play through the quest and then they give lore of before these characters, like before they joined who they are and stuff.
Yeah. They change dynamically as the paths go down, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I still think like, I mean, I think a lot of the Elsword cast have the personalities of their base characters, which is usually fine for most of the canon paths. Like, thinking about it, right? Like, what difference really is there between base Alessis and Empire Sword personality-wise? I feel like not much. You know what I mean? Like, same with like Ara and like Aspara. I don't think there's much difference, but because Raven has a story to tell with his, it's a lot more. I guess it was just difficult for them to just do that, or they didn't realize that. That base Raven and Rage Hearts are, I would say, pretty different people from how they're actually being portrayed.
Yeah. Wait. Actually, I can't find the bit where Furious Blade suppresses his emotions. Is it like a law that they removed?
Yeah, I don't know. Like you got to be careful with like things like headcanon, like getting in there, and like from the actual canon.
I remember reading this on L Wiki though, because it's kind of like the same. You know how they removed a little tidbit and lore of Nova Imperator's hair being red because of the Ignis core or something. Actually, no. I think they removed a bit of they removed the lore about Nova Imperator's nacid arm running on Ignis core, for example. Did they actually do make lore changes? I'm like, is this a lore change? The change they made in Furious Blade's lore? Because I'm pretty sure I remember reading like, or it was in a Furious Blade quote where he says he suppresses his emotions or something.
I don't know.
I'll have to go look for it.
Yeah. The only thing I know is that everything they talk about with him is just all about him being a swordsman and how he just wants to change that arm to just be a normal arm, just so doesn't even need to worry about it.
Where did I read that? I swear I remember reading it somewhere where he tries to suppress his emotions so that his arm doesn't have something to work off of.
There's another thing that kind of got mixed up that to this day, I don't know if it was something just created on the North American website or something that was actually canon, is the whole Blade Master taught Lord Knight kind of thing.
Oh no, that was definitely that was a lore back in the days.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I don't know if that was just from, because I remember seeing that on the NA website, but I don't know if that was just something that they made or something that was actual canon. Because I obviously didn't know about the KR server back then, so I don't know.
You know how L-type manga? In L-type manga, I think it was actually Furious Blade that was the the Blade Master that was the canon path, and there was one bit in the L-type manga where you see Blade Master teaching. Oh no.
Yeah, so I mean that could have been a retcon, which series do.
There's a lot of stuff in Elsa that gets retconned, which I also don't like. I think it's also because of what you mentioned, where the lore gets passed between hands to hands.
Yeah, I mean, I think almost every single. To be honest, I feel like just after hearing that conference, I think a lot of Elsword's issues stem down from that.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, the writing in Elsword is like it's tough. There's so many characters to write about that I think the plot gets a bit convoluted sometimes.
Yeah. It has a direction now, at least.
Wait, it wasn't canon. It might have been from a stupid fanfiction thing where Furious Blade was like, I don't read that much. Like, I actually don't. I seldom really read Elsword fanfictions because they're kind of I'm sorry to some fan, but like there's not like a lot of good quality Elsword fanfictions in my opinion. So I don't actually read that much Elsword fanfics anymore. No, but I swear I remember reading somewhere that something about Furious Blade suppressing his emotions. I'm probably gonna have to scour his L wiki and look for it. Or maybe I'll just go play Furious Blade again and check in his voice lines. All4401 asks, what do you think of Quator's personality? What do you think it'll be?
Oh no, Quator is the name of the path, not Elboy.
Yeah. The Elsword fourth.
Yeah, all the Elsword fourth paths, they're all called the Quator.
It's just it's like how third path is called the transformation path.
Yeah.
Fourth path is Quator path.
Yeah, which it just means 4, by the way. It's just a fancy way to say 4. I think it's Latin or something.
Yeah.
In terms of what personality, his name, the second job name is Sacred Templar. I think he's gonna be the most serious because he looks the most serious.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a difference between KE's, because KE still has Elboy's kind of like positivity. He's just a little bit more mature. I think this one will be very serious, which is
all the way. I feel like he's giving me a lot of those priest vibes, where like
or
he's gonna
paladin
type
of thing.
He's just gonna fully accept the L and just be like from the get-go, like, oh, I'm the vessel for the L. That's me. She's gonna become the L and merge with it. Wait, KG advocated it and some people took it as canon and edited the wiki to reflect that at one point? That'd be it? Huh. Yeah, I mean, technically, if KG... for example, the Elsa light novel. It's licensed by KG. Would you say it's partially canon, then?
I think it's an alternate universe because Elsword has alternate universes.
Yeah.
All the event dungeons are alternate universes.
Yeah. Because true. Because even in the Elsa light novel, Ad actually jumps to an alternate universe Elsa timeline. So in the light novel, the paths are Time Tracer. It's Night Emperor. Aisha's not there. It's Daybreak Arena. It's Blade Master Raven, and then it's Dark Knight Elysis. But then there was a bit where Ad jumps to a different Elsa timeline, and then in that timeline it was Rage Heart's Raven, Twilight Arena. I think Elsa was Immortal, and then Aisha was. I actually don't know if Aisha was there. I don't think Aisha was there in that one either. Aisha was just non-existent in both timelines. Interesting. Yeah.
So pretty much Elsword is confirmed to have alternate universes. So I think alternate universe, like L-type is one alternate universe, just like how the event dungeons are a different alternate universe as well.
Yeah. So I guess Elsa light novel is an alternate universe as well. Dude, Elsa light novel alternate universe is so dark. It's actually depressing.
Yeah. God
dang, there was one volume that sent me on an emotional roller coaster. I was feeling things, man. It's good though. I feel like if you guys like reading and you are interested, I think definitely read the Elsa light novel. I think it develops the Elsa lore and story really nicely. Okay. I think I like it. Think of it as 3 different timelines though. We'll have 4 soon. Yeah. Now we have like 4 different.
There might be more than that because L-type has different path numbers.
Yeah.
They're not all third job, they're not all second job. It's like there's a mix in that L-type.
Yeah. I think L-type is just like goofy. It's really fun. It's a fun read, L-type.
More like a multiverse theory, I guess.
Oh yeah. Also multiverse. You reckon that would ever happen in the main storyline, a multiverse and Elsa?
I mean, I honestly think it'd be cool if like there was a universe where something killed the entire search party and then traveled through a dimension and got to the main timeline and tried to get more power there. Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a whole different arc. That's a whole completely new arc though.
Yeah.
If they would.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if this would essentially be a raid boss, like some being or some ruler or whatever, like L-Search party tried to defeat them, they couldn't, and they all died, and he figured out how to travel dimensions, and he traveled to the main plot line, and then yeah, I think it'd be cool.
Dude, that'd be interesting. I'd be very interested. Either that, or maybe even a side event where like L-Sword main cast meets the other timeline.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. If only. I don't think they would do that, but that'd be cool.
Yeah, I really want to see how Raven would react to the other Raven path. I feel like Furious Blade and Rage House would have beef. I don't know why.
Probably.
Bloody Queen in particular exists in a timeline in which she dealt with Wally before the L Search party.
Yeah, like Third Path in particular. There's no way those guys all exist together. They're so different that
they're separate from one another.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, yeah. What if? Oh,
yeah.
Like, what if Nova actually never meets the L Search party and he just revives the Black Crow and he just becomes commander of Black Crow? That's it.
Well, he tried to in Weapon Taker, then he stops. So I think. Oh, what is it? I think Nova's like the only one that I could feasibly see joining the L Search party. I think Immortal would too. I think Metamorphy would too. Twilight, maybe. I'm kind of on the edge with Twilight. Nova would. Yeah. Centurion would. I don't see MPX. I think he's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Shakti, maybe? Maybe Shakti?
Yeah.
Maybe Sariel. I could go 50-50 with Sariel. Who else? Maybe Diangelion. I'm more on the side of maybe not Diangelion, because those guys kind of wacky. Yeah.
No way else accept them into the party.
Yeah. Probably Nisha. Definitely not Hersher, I don't think. I think he's definitely doing his own thing, and definitely Nyx would be in the party.
Okay.
But yeah.
I think the whole purpose of Third Path is they're never supposed to meet the Elsa. I don't think they meet each other. Oh well, aside from
I think the main. I think definitely Elboy, Aisha, and Raven. I think for sure are. In the Elsa
but what about in Third Path? Elsa, Aisha, Rena actually go their separate ways. That's why they.
I could see Rena going their separate ways, but I don't really see Immortal and Metamorphy. They could.
I think they could, because that's the whole because you know how Elsa using the Dark Elf. No, we'll have to definitely read in on the Elsa the path, the Third Path lore, and just see if there's any nuances of them separating and stuff.
Yeah.
Because in Nova. Because Nova in a way, while he does say protecting his friends, at the same time he's so focused on Black Crow, it feels like he doesn't know about the Elsa.
No, he stops. Also. He stops after Weapon Taker.
Oh, okay.
When he gets to Nova, he's all about the people I have now, compared to...
Okay, that makes...
Because Black Crow's all dead, so not really anybody to protect.
Yeah, you can't go on the path like that, you know?
Yeah.
give these men lots of hug and attention. Alright, is that... do you guys have anything else you want to add?
Well, at least for now. I think we're pretty much out of time.
Yeah. I'll probably call it there for this podcast. Yeah.
Alright. Any last little thoughts you guys want to add?
Nothing much. We rambled a bit at the end. We got a bit sidetracked.
It's all good.
But other than for next week, we'll talk about the top 10 video games, and we'll talk about... Wait. I think that's it, yeah. Yeah. Just remember next week we'll talk about our favorite video games.
Okay. How about you, Sky?
That's it for me as well.
Okay.
Yes, as usual. Thank you to everyone who watched.
Yes. Alright.
Thank you for all the support so far. Yes.
This guy's very tired, as I can hear. Alright, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back next week with the topic being top 10 video games. If you guys have yours, feel free to think of it up before next week. Aside from that, I do have two announcements. Is this upcoming Wednesday will be my ELS stream, when I'm going to be... Hopefully I'll get it done by Wednesday, but I hope to premiere my Nova guide, just because, thankfully the buffs came early, so I'm able to finish the guide early. So hopefully we can finish it by Wednesday. So I'll do a combination of Rasa raids, and we'll premiere the guide there. And then on 7/11 will be the 24-hour streams with the hashtag FunMeteorPC. So it's gonna be a lot of fun with that too. Yeah. A lot of cool things coming down the pipeline. Hope you guys enjoy all that. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and bye.
Wait,
What?